And I'm going to talk now from perspective of collaboration, private-public partnership, which I, in my last LinkedIn article, named architect of private-public partnerships, the ones which are building bridges. And I thought, if you are architect, you not just sit still, you also go to see how you're going to plan structures of the building, infrastructure, how are you going to develop it, where the place is, where the ecosystem is. And collaboration also has this element. It's an element of bringing things active to the table with all your collaborators, representing both academia and both industry. So it's very active, in a way, process. And I think you should also stay active. And that's why I thought, instead of sitting, I will also, I decided actually to stand and present something about that. And definitely important things which I like to talk to today as an architect of academic industrial partnerships is that how important they are, and how important it is also to support all actions coming or initiatives coming from academia and bring it to industry, make them visible. And I think this vlog is also to make it visible, to be this ambassador also of academic initiatives, which are to actually reach other stakeholders, other collaborators, including industry and society. This is the white letter which I already put on my post shortly, talking about a technology festival organized by NWO. But this is the letter I'd like to, based on this letter, a little bit discuss this, because I believe that this letter requires extra attention just to be presented online as an online document and being supported. So I strongly advocate you, who all of you which care about collaborations between academia, industry, or private public, to go to this letter. I will post it and also sign for it. This is also your footprint that you want to contribute, and you want to see the progress of these collaborations, and you see future in creating brighter future for life sciences, also future of creating brighter collaborations. So definitely this letter, I'd like to first maybe say that this letter was created to advance quality of transdisciplinary collaborations. I already talked about this, so I will put you linked to the vlog where I explain what is the definition of transdisciplinary collaborations, but also interdisciplinary. And this letter is just a starting point, which is really nice. It's not final product, but it's a starting point to create platforms to discuss how we see brighter future of collaborations between academia and industry. One thing for sure is that definitely we should think about becoming more agile, more adaptable. So that's what I already talked about 7 years in Netherlands since I started my startup. Being adaptable, understanding, learning how to understand perspective of others. In this way, we are able to sit at the table and really perform effective collaboration. Without understanding, this will never happen. The other thing is team building, right? The workshops which I provide, agile team building, to teach both academic but also industrial partners how to work together as experts from different fields, as experts from academia and from industry. Then, of course, important thing which I learned in academia, being driven by a worldwide recognized group leader in stem cells, is the quality. It's not just about producing high quality of data, which matters for collaboration, because there's hidden IP value. So taking care of it in collaboration is also very important. But also advance the quality of these collaborations and what we can do for that. So how we can build these collaborations, and that this equation, which I already brought once, academia plus industry equals brighter future, not just a future, but brighter future. So I'd like to bring it again here. And I think I will a little bit only come closer here. So academia plus industry equals future. And of course, we not just talk about future, which perhaps for science, for innovation, is very abrupt, I would say, disturbed by all the political changes happening and wars. I hope once where we minimize impact of wars or minimize numbers of wars, we're able to make this future brighter for science innovation, because we have to really care that there is sufficient financial support in science and innovation. This helps all of us, especially in my field, which is regenerative medicine and tissue engineering, to make sure that we develop ATMPs, so all the drugs or stem cell based therapies, or combine ATMPs, whatever you call it, to serve the patients, in the end to serve us, because we can one day also become this patient. So I'd like to first mention all the names of people which contributed to this white letter and a little bit shortly discuss it, because I think full document I will also give you access for. Just to give you important highlights. So it's Annick van der Ersten from NWO, Bien Pierce, Delft University of Technology, Corinne Lamain, former director of Center for Unusual Collaboration, so academic industrial. David Abbing, actually professor, which I met at the festival, which is actually key pioneer in this, from Delft University of Technology, Deborah Foster from RoboHouse, Eva Verhoef from RoboHouse, Josephine Sassen van Meer from TNO, Lotte Krappenborg, Institute for Science in Society, Radboud University, Marion Stenneke, Delft University of Technology, Masha van der Voort, University of Twente, and Varsha Kapochan, NWO. I also wish that more people also representing companies from Leiden Bioscience Park, that's also my here, kind request would sign for this letter to fully support collaborations. This letter, as I said, it's one of the milestones important to bring, in a way, to invite a lot of people for broader conversation, to create a statement, and is the one which we have to very often come back to it and change and keep updating it. I think that's also important message for David Abbing, to talk more about this and increase numbers of partners in industry, not only from Delft but also from Leiden Bioscience Park and other biotech parks here in the Netherlands. So this is important message. Another thing which I'd like to talk about is that of course, it's about also integration in terms of this advancement of quality of these collaborations. We need to think as a practitioners, not just as academics. We have to think about value which we bring together. It's socio-economical impact. I think that's the biggest value we can create. Social impact and economical impact in terms of creating innovation which will give X number of jobs for future scientists. Then, this engagement, this mindset, which is flexible as a stakeholder, which is open-minded, which not just when biologist talks to biologists or academic talks to academics and there's collaboration evolving, but when industry, and that's why my startup is there to fill this gap between academia and industry, to help people, especially in my field, to collaborate together. And I'm here as a coordinator. I'm the catalyst of such collaboration, agile collaboration. Then, of course, we have to also focus on solution, but not just all of us some of us will think, oh, I will only be here, I want to only be committed to a certain extent. Of course, if there are other important priorities, I understand, but if there is a priority to focus on a short-term project, agile collaboration, 1 year perhaps first, to see how we can work together, to align with each other in a real world, I call it, we have to fully commit to think about how we're going to co-produce together this innovative solution for real world problems, societal challenges. There is a lot in Reg Medicine tissue engineering, and that's maybe another flock which I'm going to talk about. Then quality in this transdisciplinary collaboration, so academic, industrial, interdisciplinary. Of course, it's about stages. I think the stages where we think about initiating collaboration, then testing it in process. These are all important steps, and that's why our team has to become agile. Everybody needs to become adaptable. Without this, with rigid personalities, this is not be able to work out. And we all have to remember that this letter is to sign, first of all, to sign, to support, to give your little contribution, your own contribution, share and evolve and remodel. This letter needs to be remodeled. This letter as a standing point needs to be discussed widely, also on LinkedIn. In terms of conditions which are called conducive, I think workshops are the best platform to learn how to do it, how to work in an agile environment, in changing environment driven by change. So lack of this TDC training, I think my workshop, Agile Team Building, can support. Then it has to be inclusive. I think we all matter, especially in decision-making process. This is important that everybody feels part of the team and part of the solution. In terms of organization, indeed, you need coordinator, which is agile. The best is if you have an agile coach representing me as an example. So this coach is able to navigate this team-driven collaboration, connecting experts from different fields from academia and industry. Then I'd like to a little bit focus about some terms which this letter brings, because I always want to bring some inspiration. So I'm going to introduce one of these terms. It is, of course, co-producing solutions, but the terms which come from the letter in terms of the process and in terms of personal development is definitely epistemic intelligence. There are different types of intelligence, right? Emotional, analytical, very different ones. But I think epistemic intelligence is something which I think it's not obvious. It's never obviously discussed. And it's an ability to understand, reflect, and evaluate knowledge. So its sources, its limits, so actually justifies. And it's nothing else than involving critical thinking, so something which we, as a scientist, especially the ones which proceed with PhD studies, PhD training were trained very well how to critically not just think, but how to critically ask questions, right? To ask critical questions. These are the questions which will drive our not only personal development, but also development in innovation. So non-comfort zone, completely non-comfort zone, not taking critical questions personally, but what I can do with this question, where answering this question will lead me to in my innovation process or development process of innovation. So critical thinking about what we know and how we're going to do it and why we're going to do it this way. And this epistemic intelligence is very important, I realize, not just for innovators, for scientists to understand this, but also reflect on it. So have a perspective, or a retro perspective, we call it as a coaches. And really focus on potential, let's say, helicopter vision, right? Looking a little bit from wide perspective, but also zooming in and out, be able to do that. And apparently in this letter, there's few people which can do it, being generalist and being specialist at the same time, zooming in and zooming out. I think when I think about that, I pretty much come close. I don't know how far I'm in this development, but because I talked to so many people and I became agile coach and I talked to people from industry, from academia, I not just learned about their perspective, I understood their perspective. It helps me to navigate as a being generalist and specialist, especially in reg medicine, from both sides. So I was very surprised that there's not so many people like that. A lot of people are specialists, but generalist specialist combination or in one person, that's pretty unusual. So I'm happy to help also with setting consortia and recognizing this skill, this ability in me. But that also came through personal development. It's not something which just happened in me in split seconds. I had to perform master studies in biotechnology to understand how we can implement biology in industry, and then follow it by PhD in stem cells, in fundamental research, and then 4 postdocs which were leading me to understand and perform preclinical projects, so bringing science from bench to bedside. And that's very important when you actually think about this consortia, because that's exactly what industry is following in reg medicine and tissue engineering field. Industry is following exactly, they start from proof of concept and then they move towards applications. And of course patients, so clinical trials. So that's some term which I'd like to bring, and I see that the timing comes pretty much to almost 20 minutes. It's a lot of things to discuss, but maybe I should only tell you a little bit about process, because I talk as a coach a lot about process and stages. I already mentioned that there are also many stages here too. And in this white letter you will find I would say quite a good discussion about this process, what's needed for high quality process. But I think mentioning the stages, that's what I'd like to wrap up this vlog. So it's initiating, of course, collaboration. The next step is assessing. And I take it more as an iterative process. You know, everybody's feedback is welcome at any time. That's what exactly for me this means. Without being judgmental, so personal and judgmental. And enabling the right boundary conditions for TDC. So I think this is more relevant to conducive conditions. But of course, from my side, these stages are important, but also, you know, reaching milestones. This is also important in the stage, if you think about at the beginning, where milestones are just theoretically discussed. At the last stages of our collaborations, reaching milestones become